Minister Jean-Ernest Massenangale Bibe on a working visit to Douala this Monday to verify if all the necessary measures have been taken by the airport authorities. The minister, accompanied not only by close collaborators, but the governor of the littoral region, made a tour of the infrastructure to his satisfaction.
We are satisfied with the work that has been done here. We have visited everywhere, including the toilets. A wonderful job has been done here to the satisfaction of our users.
It was also an opportunity for the minister and his entourage to witness how passengers, among them some Chan delegates, are welcomed at the airport and in the COVID-19 health room.
Well, and then to throw some light, on the expectations of the people on their team and how to throw their weight behind the Intermediate Lions. Welcome into the studio. I welcome in the studio Simon Lyonga Namolombe. Welcome, Simon.
Thank you. Good evening, Gladys.
Yes, Simon, you are the manager of Crtv Sports and Entertainment and senior reporter. Can you just tell us the results of the Intermediate Lions, during the pre-Chan tournament were not really good, as everybody saw, and their fans, are complaining. Will it be right to say that the team is in for a show in this competition?
And not a poor show, certainly, Gladys. It is true that during the pre-Chan tournaments that took place here in Yaoundé, the team had a very poor show, 3 matches, no victory, 1 draw and a defeat. And of course, after their 2-match competition tour in Douala, they had no victory, 1 defeat and 1 draw. So many people are saying it's going to be a poor show when the team plays out here in Yaoundé for the competition. But experience has shown, Gladys, that the team that wins the competition at the end of every international football event is not necessarily the team that had a wonderful show during the pre-competition tournaments. Usually during competitions like the one we had in Yaoundé, the coaches have a couple of things that they are looking for. They're usually looking for the best combinations that they have for their team. They are looking for the best complementarity between their players. They are looking for the best second choice team that could sit in for the first team if need arises. And of course, they are looking for a way of boosting up the morale of their players and fans prior to the competition. It's true for Cameroon, the 4th objective, they failed, but in the other 3, only the coach and his assistants for now know if they attained their objective. But let me remind you, Gladys, that when we talk about Cameroon, during competitions that were won, most of them, the team played very poorly during pre-competition tournaments, and they played very well during the competition. I'll remind you that in 1984, when Cameroon won the first ever African Cup of Nations, the team prepared not even out of the country, they prepared here in Yete. That is in the Ocean Division of the South region. And they played no friendly match. They went out to Abidjan and won the competition. In 1988, it was the same. And they went to Morocco and won the competition. In 1990, when Cameroon had the best performance and became the first African team to qualify for the quarterfinal of the World Cup, they went to Yugoslavia for the competition, played 9 friendly games. They won only 1. And that was against the under-23 team of Yugoslavia. But when they went for the competition, it was a wonderful competition. So the output of a team during preparations doesn't guarantee a victory or a good performance during the competition.
Yes, Simon, with all you just said, so what should we expect from the fans, from all over the country?
First of all, the fans they're supposed to develop confidence in their team and know that the host and win syndrome is on. Since the African Nations Championship started in 2009, only Morocco have succeeded to host and win, and that was in 2018. And so the Cameroon can do that. And for them to do that, they must count on the 12th player. And the 12th player is usually the supporters. That's why the Minister of Sports and Physical Education, alongside the government of Cameroon, did everything for the fans to be in the stands. Remember, during the COVID period, most of football arenas and, of course, other sports stadiums around the world games are played without the fans. But this time around, the government of Cameroon did everything, negotiated well with the Confederation of African Football, and they accepted that the fans should attend those matches. So they are supposed to turn out in their numbers. For the first round of the competition, alongside the 8 final games, we're going to have 25% of the capacity of the stadium in the stadium. For example, if the Ahmadu Ajo Stadium is to host 100,000 people, for example, for the matches we are going to host only 25,000 people. But for the semi-finals and the finals, it's going to be 50%. And those semi-finals and finals, don't forget, they'll be played in Douala Japoma, they'll be played in Limbe and the Ahmadu Ajo Stadium. So for the Japoma Stadium, that hosts 50,000 people. For the semi-finals, they're going to host 25,000.
Okay, thank you very much. And as you just heard it off from the manager of CRTV Sports and Entertainment, who is a senior sports journalist, senior sports editor, I beg your pardon, Simon Leonga Namolombe. Thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
And we continue with another this thing here. During the African Nations Championship, Cameroon's intermediate Lions could probably pin hopes on players like Jacques Zoua and keeper Hashua Querido to excel in the competition. Some of these players have gathered enough experience in clubs and country assignments in recent times. Who are some of these players to watch for in Cameroon's squad? Romeo Kenny tells us more.
8 key players with a defined mission, that of raising the country's flag high during the African Nations Championship on home soil. Greater expectations will certainly lie on the shoulders of AS Futuro goal-getter Jacques Zoua. Apart amassing sufficient ingenuity within and out of the country, the 2017 AFCON winner is undoubtedly a kingpin in the squad. A beautiful combination up front with teammate Joseph Yannick Njeng may simply reassure the selection of a fruitful trip in the Chan. A blend between Francis Elimbi of Stade Rennais of Melon and Serge Andulo of Union of Douala can simply be termed an excellent pair to maneuver the midfield. Both players recently demonstrated a high sense of game mastery in the mini warm-up tournament. Meantime, Coton Sport duo Banga Bijime Salomon and Thierry Chuente will be expected to impose hegemony at the defensive compartment. The goalkeeping cubbyhole is endowed with goalies of great esteem. PWD short stopper Hashu Querido has reaped maturity along local clubs, the indomitable Lions of Cameroon, and out of the country. Dande Junior of Apejes Onfu has got ample skills to showcase in the goal post.
The medical aspect of Cameroon's hosting of the African Nations Championship are being prepared as athletic events are often associated with emergency situations. The technical platforms of major hospitals in the nation's capital have been upgraded. Let's begin by making rounds in these hospitals to see how they are bracing up for the event. In the first of our new series on emergency preparedness, Beatrice Lasamba takes us today through the gates of the Yaoundé Central Hospital. She reports the most frequented hospital in the nation's capital is already wearing its Chan outfit. Beatrice?
Should emergency situations arise anytime during the upcoming African Nations Championship, they will meet qualified response at the Yaoundé Central Hospital. This most visited hospital in the nation's capital now wears the coat to provide prompt care needed in case of sports-related visits during the sporting event that will see all of Africa pour out on Cameroonian territory.
The Central Hospital has experience in providing health care during sporting events. No matter the care needed, we are equipped to provide high-quality care. The sportsmen, VIP guests and Chan officials have separate units at their disposal.
Injuries severe enough to require hospitalization will be referred here. The hospital's inpatient bed capacity has been stepped up to that effect. The specialists and emergency room nurses have been trained to be familiar with the function and operation of emergency equipment acquired.
We have acquired specialized scanners and some more sophisticated equipment are on the way. We have an oxygen unit here.
The hospital will liaise with first responders to provide prompt response. A certified blood bank, a coronary care unit, an ambulance on site. Important contact information well scripted and at the fingertips of staff. The hospital's gates will stay open anytime in the course of the athletic event.
Business operators in the city of Boya in the southwest region are reinforcing their structures and replenishing their stocks as the population build up to the takeoff of the football Jamboree 2021 in the southwest region. From Boya, our reporter Walter Wilson Nana tells us more that preparations are gaining steam.
At the business hub in the city of Boya, which is a class quarter neighborhood, it is a bustling atmosphere with shopkeepers, bar owners, eateries, supermarkets, and other social joints reorganizing their setups and creating a lot more space to accommodate their existing clientele and the hundreds of people who are expected in the city for the Chan 2021.
They are trying to bring in extra services, trying to stock the shop, making sure that our customers are satisfied.
The popular Yaoundé bar in Boya, the manager says they are stockpiling variety of drinks to satisfy all their customers.
We are stocking, but we hope through the brasseries will bring in all the choices.
One of the provision and wine shops, the sales girl, Dahlia, reassures all those coming to the city of Boya that the variety are endless. According to Joan, who is the finance manager of the biggest supermarket in Boya, they are set to deliver to all those coming to the Chan in the Southwest region, including the tickets for the matches.
And on to other news now. An official of the United Nations Refugee Agency says over 4,500 new Central African refugees have crossed to Garoua in the east region of Cameroon, following the escalation of the violence and insecurity in the neighboring country. Presiding over a security meeting in Garoua, Territorial Administration Boss Paul Atanganji called for vigilance so that criminality does not resurface with the influx of refugees. We have these details with Ebenezer Akanga.
As violence and insecurity rages on in the Central African Republic, the number of refugees fleeing to Garoua in the east region of Cameroon is on the increase. According to an official of the UN Refugee Agency, 4,500 new Central African refugees have fled to Garoua. 142 Central African soldiers have also escaped to Garoua. The UN agencies are receiving and providing care to the refugees, but complain of a drastic reduction of resources. While on a special mission to Garoua on high instructions of the head of state, the Minister of Territorial Administration, Paul Atanganji, visited the refugees and transmitted the encouragement of the government to the UN agencies. At a security meeting, Paul Atanganji called for vigilance so that criminality should not surface with the influx of the refugees.
The head of state told me to come and extend his high appreciation to all the traditional leaders who have been doing this wonderful job, and that we should strengthen collaboration between the local administrative authorities and the traditional rulers.
The 4,500 new Central African refugees come to add to about 25,000 others who are in the Gado Baziri refugee camp around Garoua.
We stay in the East region to talk about the population of Garoua who have expressed gratitude to President Paul Biya for taking special measures to ensure the security of persons and their property in the border town following the socio-political unrest in the Central African Republic. Despite the preoccupying situation and the influx of more and more refugees from the Central African Republic, life is going on normally in Garoua, as you tell us, Mokom Robert Acho in Bertua.
While on a special mission to Garoua assigned by the head of state, President Paul Biya, the Minister of Territorial Administration has assured the population that measures have been taken to reinforce security at that border town.
State institutions have taken measures to protect people and their property.
Restaurants and other business places are going about their business normally. However, it is a fear of some of the heavy-duty vehicle drivers that if the present situation persists, things may change for the worse.
If the situation is not stabilized, in a few days, what is taking place in the Central African Republic with increase in prices will take place here.
Inhabitants of Garoua, while expressing gratitude to the head of state, President Paul Biya, for the present security situation, all their hopes for better days ahead are focused on the Minister of Territorial Administration, Paul Atanganji, who has assured them that President Paul Biya will relent no effort in protecting all inhabitants of our beloved country.
Over in Gaoundere, the pioneer president of the Adamawa Regional Council, Dr. Muhammadu Dewa, has sworn to serve the population of the region faithfully, irrespective of political leanings, religious or ancestral lineage. He took the oath during a solemn ceremony at the Adamawa Court of Appeal, presided at by Chief Justice Roger Kamchum, and the presence of a host of dignitaries. Details with Rakiatu Musa Jingi from Crtv Adamawa.
Hundreds of Adamawa inhabitants witnessed the trailblazer, president of the Adamawa Regional Council, swear before God and man to serve the people of the region impartially as he takes up duty. Dr. Muhammadu Dewa promised to be loyal, render fairness with enthusiasm as he takes firm commitments on this day.
I'm very happy. My job is to grow our region because we have many problems. The problem of the root, health, particularly education for the young girls. Everything we are going to try to do our best.
The president of the Adamawa Court of Appeal, Chief Justice Roger Kamchum, urged Dr. Muhammadu Dewa to scrupulously respect the law as he champions this new chapter in the development of the region without discrimination, favoritism or political bias. The installation took place in the presence of Adamawa Governor Kildadi Tageke Bukar.
I urge you once again to put on your face masks, to wash your hands regularly, and to consult a physician or any other health personnel if you notice any symptoms. This is the only way to save lives and to curb the spread of the virus.
Tonight, we begin our series of the weekend on violence on the campus. From March 2019 to February 2020, about 5 students and a teacher lost their lives in school as a result of such violence. Cynthia Saptala takes us back through these incidents in schools nationwide to see what changes have been made to improve on the situation. Cynthia?
March 2019, Cameroonians nationwide followed with horror the story of a Form 4 student of the government bilingual school, Dedo, in Douala, who attacked, stabbed and killed a Form 5 student after an altercation. It's been about 2 years now, but the memories of that incident continue to live on. The campus now possesses about 16 cameras stationed at several points. Violence is a reality on campus and must be checked at all costs.
The school had the same uniform as some others around, so it was easy for outsiders to blend in. Girls used to keep long hair and put drugs like tramadol in it.
Changes have been made by school authorities since this incident. The uniform has been changed, walls elevated, amongst other measures. But the teachers continue to advocate for parents to be more involved in the upbringing and education of their teenage children. They say some of these troubled teens often carry heavy emotional baggages from home to school.
Rethinking the way of education and training in Africa, such that priority is given to ICT development, is key of the African Union. For this reason, the African Union Commissioner for Human Resources, Science and Technology, Professor Serambi Eno Anya Agbo, has applauded the African Institute of Computer Sciences, EIE Cameroon, for training Africa's future entrepreneurs. Yoti Kaleli Songe reports.
A reference on the continent for ICT training. An institution that shoulders Africa's digital development is the African Institute of Computer Sciences, EIE.
Today we